Ho, 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 Christmas in July.
That was a great song you just picked for us.
Yeah, it was a song, and I picked it. What
it
song?
Just totally encompasses this entire movie we're doing today.
It's so good, I can't get it out of my head. I won't even...
It's an earworm.
Yeah, everyone, of course, knows the song I just played, so we don't even need to bother talking about what it is. Murray, of course, everybody probably thought that Griffmas in July was just going to be me going full, like, nostalgic, playing all, like...
Yeah, I thought we were going to do the whole Three Ninjas series.
Yeah, so you thought...
Which we probably may still. We still have 3 other movies.
We have 3 other movies, and Three Ninjas is deeply embedded in my soul.
Well,
it's
we know
DNA.
that our listeners love the 90s. They hate the 70s. But 70s is the greatest fucking decade for action, I think. But, yeah... So it wouldn't hurt. We'd get the listens.
It wouldn't
hurt.
It
would torture me, but...
Right.
You know, hey.
Now, this is supposed to be a 1994 action movie.
It's supposed to be.
And what I was trying to do, because like we mentioned last week when we were closing out Excalibur...
Our people can't stop talking about it.
It's amazing.
All I got to say to everybody that has thanked me for putting a name for the feeling they felt, Pussy Fog, you're welcome.
Cocksmog as well.
Cocksmog if you're of the gay persuasion.
Or if you're a woman.
Well, yeah, but women... Do women really get crazy for dick? I mean, like crazy.
I was just reading a story where a girl was saying, like, why is it so bad that I like getting dick pics? I like looking at penis. I am a very sexually driven woman, and I like seeing penis. I don't like the ego behind it, but I like seeing penis.
Do. Wow.
Yeah, she's I am 19.
I mean, I wouldn't understand, obviously, being a straight man, but I think dicks look stupid. I mean, I have one. I see it every day. It looks dumb.
Right, exactly. That's the whole thing. It's embarrassing having a penis, because you're just like, it just looks stupid. There's nothing fun about this. Yeah. I sit, and it gets in the way. It's awful. Like, I can, like, cross my leg and hurt my balls. That is a thing I have to work.
You're getting old, man. You got the saggy balls. You're crushing your balls sitting down.
I sometimes wake up and I have crossed my legs in a way that when I wake up, I'm like, oh my God, my testicles are
strangling your balls.
This is where we're going. This is Christmas in July is all about me talking about my testicular issue. Which, by the way, my doctor's appointment was canceled. So I still have not gone to the doctor's in a very long time.
Oh, you still having testicle problems? That was like 6 months ago.
I am not.
Okay.
That was 6 months ago. That was the American healthcare process. I tried to schedule an appointment. It took them, it was 5 months out, and then...
5 months?
It was like 5 months out, and then 2 months ago, they were like, yeah, we canceled that for you. The doctor just quit, so sorry.
I'm dealing with that too. My doctor retired, and I'm like, "Fuck!" And
How long
let's talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Let's get back to this movie.
So we were trying, I was trying to do a thing. I haven't done this search in such a long time, and I used to get so much joy. Like, again, the genesis of this whole podcast was me and Murray finding these weird movies,
right?
Just handing them back and forth to each other. We were tape traders, in a way, because we were never trading VHS. We have one VHS tape, and it's Legion of Iron or Steel.
Yeah, when is that going to get the big deluxe DVD?
Vinegar Syndrome. I'm looking at you.
No, they charge way too much. I'd want another.
But
company.
Still, they're like the only people that would probably do it.
Probably.
I mean, we're not going to get a Blu-ray version of that because Rex is a little too much for today's audience.
They might have to cut his scenes out.
Blur the tube socks, maybe.
Yeah. Was Uther wearing tube socks underneath his armor? That's all I want to ask.
I had to go back and do a frame count on the movie because, of course, everyone was curious about the frame count. Everyone's always asking me about the frame count. Oh. So I went back and did a frame count of that sex scene because you did say it's like the number 2 sex scene we've done since we've learned about the Swede scale.
Yeah, the Sweden scale.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great scene. But, yeah, I'm still... Because maybe that's my out. If I go, well, he's not technically wearing tube socks. Maybe it's not a rape.
Right.
Getting back to this movie we're doing this week.
Right.
I was throwing to you.
Oh, you're throwing back to me?
It's Christmas in July.
Well,
which, by the way, people are very excited about on the Twitter machine.
I'm happy to hear it. And again, we're going to get into more.
They're also very excited. They all think, and if I know Jackson Public and Doc Hammer listen to us.
Yes.
everybody's buzzing. They want me to play Brock Sampson in the live-action version of the Venture Brothers.
I love it.
All I'm saying is I'm available. And you and all of Twitter. It's viral, Griff.
I love it. I love this idea.
I will do it only if you CGI the mullet. I will not wear a wig. I will not grow my hair out.
You've worn the mullet once.
I wore it once.
And it wasn't becoming of you.
No,
it was not good enough.
I can pull off a lot of looks. Mullet's not one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree. CGI.
Yeah.
You're
Permed mullet.
Can I have a role? Like, who would I be? Hank? Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, I think you'd be a monarch.
Play the bass.
I think you'd be the monarch.
I love that. That's good. I got abs, so I can play the monarch.
They might have to. I think they have to CGI the goatee because you don't want to grow a goatee.
I do not want to grow a goatee. Yeah. So this is great. All of our CGI is gonna be.
How about this? We make a live action movie where they make us look like cartoon characters over it.
Oh, like Scanner Darkly did.
Yeah, like rotoscoping.
Yeah. I love that idea.
A live action cartoon.
I love this idea. All right, put it in the books.
We're available. Talk to our people.
We're gonna have to record this on set though, because of course this is unlike this movie that takes place maybe over a weekend, and everybody involved is just doing it for a quick paycheck.
Right.
Yeah, our movie is gonna take at least 7 months to finish.
Right.
The passion we're gonna have there.
That's just filming.
And you're gonna have at least 45 love scenes as Brock Sampson.
Right. Yeah.
And so I mean,
I gotta pay homage to the character. I can't.
Now, have we talked to Speeds? Are we going to be able to get Speeds in on the set?
He will be a consultant on all the sex scenes.
That's good. This movie's going to be perfect.
All the music will be fuckable. All my sexual movements will be hot.
Ice cubes?
Of course.
Fires?
Without saying, yeah, of course.
God damn it, I can't wait. So,
I want the fucking Uther fucking fires in hell. Like,
I know.
All you see in the background is just fire.
I loved it. The fire, if you watch, it's like a fucking Disney cartoon. With the strokes of Uther, the fire is jumping with him. It's riding the rhythm. And I loved it. Like, his seismic thrusts were just...
The sexual movements were off the fucking chain.
And yet, it's still not as good.
Well, nothing is like...
It's
nothing
amazing.
In top Highlander 3.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. So anyways, I wanted to find an old diamond in the rough. I wanted to go out there. I wanted to harken back to the old days. And
we both, when we suffered through Top Gun.
Yes.
The only bright spot in that movie...
Ironside.
Was Michael Ironside.
There was a lot of sun shots. That wasn't the bright spot.
Right.
Michael Ironside.
And I think we had mentioned even on the episode, like, we got to do a fucking Ironside movie. We got to find something where he shines.
Right. And I found the one I wanted to do, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Like, I found the title, the synopsis, and all that. Couldn't do it. Couldn't find it anywhere. So I moved on. Huh?
What was it?
I don't remember what it was called. I'm sorry. That was a couple weeks ago. Because I've been doing real good research for this.
He's taking this seriously, people.
This is very serious.
This is a very serious job. He's finally realizing the hell I go through week in and week out programming the show because I like variety. I don't want to just give you 5 fucking kung fu movies in a row.
Right.
I'm like,
except when we give you 5 kung fu movies in a row.
Except when we do a theme.
Yeah.
Which we'll be doing in August.
Yes. But no, it's just been so fucking. It's a tough job.
Yeah, it's very
and
tough. Thankless job.
It's very thankless.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing that we both just when we sit down here because we've both had hellish weeks.
Yeah, I've had a hellish summer so far.
I've got attacked by bee today.
I got attacked by wasp this week. Yeah.
Like we're just
not. Actually, like I think we both are in agreement. We hate summer, like everything about it. Like I hate heat. I hate humidity. I got to put up with it because I make the majority of the money I make for the year I make during the summer.
Oh, okay.
And one thing I really fucking hate, and you just picked on it, fucking bugs, dude. I fucking hate bugs. I hate them crawling on me.
Yep.
I hate them buzzing around my fucking face.
Yep. We get the gnats that when you start perforating because of course it's hot, so you're sweating.
Perforating?
What did I say?
You said right, you start perforating.
Is that sweat?
No, it's perspiring.
Perspiring?
Perforating. I don't know, it's like
is that the little holes?
Yeah, little holes. It's perforated.
Well, you are technically, if you go,
you do have little
depending on what
pores
scale,
are little holes.
Yeah, depending on what scale you go to, we are perforated.
Well, it's not the Sweden scale. It's not.
But it is miserable. Like when I start sweating when I'm outside, because I always try to wear sleeves. I hate the sun on me.
Yeah, I hate the feeling of the sun on me as well. So I hate the feeling of heat. Period.
Right, and it's just miserable. But when we sit down, to do this show, and we're looking into each other's eyes.
Our hungry eyes, yeah.
Our hungry eyes. Hungry. Please tell me a line before or after that.
One look at you, and I can't deny my...
hungry eyes.
Eric
Good.
Carmen, I want to say. I think
Yeah.
that's the guy who's saying that.
God.
Eric Carmen.
People are eating
Not
that
Cartman,
up.
Carmen.
The whispers in the envelopes I was getting. When people
I've gotten some foul whispers.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're horny. They're in the fog.
I've been getting a lot of foggy whispers, too. Like fog shot out of them. So our fans are hungry right now. And I
Yeah.
got to tell you guys, be careful. Because like we talked about on Excalibur, Clarence Thomas is making sure that nobody has pleasurable sex anymore.
Yeah, pull out is all I'm going to say.
He's trying to get rid of sodomy and anal. Wait, are those the two of the same?
Yeah, well, sodomy is encompasses everything that's not vaginal sex. So, yes, anal
Okay.
is part of sodomy. But sodomy isn't just anal.
Okay.
Oral can be considered sodomy.
That was it. Sodomy and oral. He's trying to get rid of those. So you know that him and Ginny have a great time in bed when they're not trying to
I'm
cause
sure
interactions.
they do whatever they want. It's just they don't want us doing whatever we want.
Do you think they shit on each other?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Clarence Thomas loves getting pissed on. You can tell.
Yeah.
And I can tell he's into feet. He's a foot guy.
He's a foot guy.
He's like sucking on toe. Shrimping, is that what they call it?
I don't know.
They call it shrimping.
I've only recently learned about soaking.
Well, I don't know what's that.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure Kayla told me about this one. So the Mormons, they don't believe in sex before marriage, I believe.
Yeah.
And so the idea, I believe it's Mormons. And so
If you're going, that's not what I'm saying. If you're going to all these lengths to like get around it, just stop believing.
just fucking realize the God.
You're not. If there is a God, you're not tricking him. You're not getting. You know, like
No,
I love it.
I love it. I love the idea of we're tricking God right now.
Like I got one over on God. Yeah.
So the idea is soaking is
Okay.
that you have penetration in the vagina,
Yeah.
but you do not thrust, you do not move,
Oh, I've heard of that.
and you have a friend jump on your bed to
Wow.
cause movements.
That's really.
So there's supposedly in and out happening.
That's
there.
like the guy that's got something stuck up his ass, and he's like, "You're never gonna believe this. I fell and I landed on this broomstick, went right up my ass. Just fuck people.
Come
just fuck.
on.
Come on her instead of in her,
Or-
and you ain't got to worry about them.
Or him. Do whatever you want. Fucking Supreme Court is the stupidest system that America has in the world right now.
Well, it wasn't at one time. It's just we went crazy in these past 20 years. We've lost our fucking minds.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like this movie we're forced to watch, forced to kill.
And I will say,
Ironside. I have a question, Griff.
Yeah, okay.
Because we both love Ironside. Most underrated. He's the Golan-Globus theater of actors. 'Cause
Right.
He's very underrated.
right.
What was your first Ironside experience? 'Cause
Yeah.
You never forget it. It's like your first sexual experience, your first soaking, your first getting pissed on.
Yep.
For shrimping.
My
Your
first shrimping.
Your first Ironside.
Can I talk about my shrimping first? No. No, I definitely remember it because it was. Have you ever seen this weird movie, Scanners?
Yes, I've seen Scanners.
No, that was thrown at me.
okay.
I'm not asking you that. This was you're jumping into my story here, and it was just fucking no. Because at that time we weren't doing this. We weren't watching movies really. I wasn't watching anything at that time. So I was like, no, I've never heard of Scanners. But I was enamored with the person who brought it up. So I was like, let's do that. Let's watch Scanners. Blown away. That's my sci-fi right there. I love that kind of
The
sci-fi.
thing about Scanners is Michael Ironside, great in it. The guy who's the lead, the worst actor
He's a drip.
ever. Worst actor
Total
ever.
drip.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that about him, but yeah, total drip. Ironside, fan-fucking-tastic. He just brings an aura to everything, which is exactly what I saw in this movie.
It's badassery.
Right. Do you want to tell us
My
about
first Ironside experience was V, the TV show V. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think he was in the second series. The first one was a huge hit, so they made a second one.
Okay.
Miniseries.
years? What was the range for the first and the
I
second?
think it was just a year apart. It was,
Oh. Like the first series and the second series?
yeah.
Only a year apart? Because I started watching him thanks to you and Stuart, and he was like right there in the second episode or something.
Well, there was a miniseries first.
Okay.
And it was a big hit, and such a hit that they made a second miniseries.
So
And then they made a series which lasted only one season.
Okay.
I think it lasted like half a season. But I saw the second season, the second series first. It had him in it, and
Okay.
I'm like, this guy's like totally badass. Why is he like the second banana to Mark Singer Beastmaster?
Right.
And also, I'm almost positive Neil from the movie we're doing today was his Chewbacca because he was the Han Solo of V. Like,
Neil, yeah.
So he was like the Chewbacca to Tyler was Michael Ironside's character's name.
Okay.
He was the Han Solo character. He was like this badass.
He was.
Give a
He's
fuck.
so good.
And then Mark Singer was like, I don't know. I mean, I've never been into like the fucking babyface hero thing, you know. And he was that classic kind of babyface hero. So
I think he's there to like elevate Ironside and his amazingness, but then we don't get it's just like I need more of Ironside. But we all know what happened to wrestling when they gave us too much Stone Cold. He ended up hugging Vince McMahon and ruining wrestling forever. So it's like maybe that's what Ironside, very much like Al Leong, he knew I just need to be here.
I don't know. I was just watching this movie. I just found it very depressing because this movie came out in '94.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I think '90s when Total Recall came out.
Yes.
And I'm like, 4 years earlier, he was in fucking Total Recall,
Killing it.
And now he's I mean, that just shows you the shitty nature of the show business. You got to. Some people can't choose what they want to do. Somebody got to make a fucking buck. So,
Yeah.
but I'm like, why wasn't he in bigger shit after that? Why didn't someone say, this guy's awesome, I want him to star in my fucking movie?
Michael Ironside's still with us, right?
Yes, he's still with us.
Do
I
we
don't know
have-
much. I don't know much longer. Last time I saw him, he put on
looking
about
rough.
100 pounds.
Oh,
He's
that's
not
not
looking
good.
so good. Yeah.
Do you
He was
think-
in Barry. You seen that show?
I've seen little bits of it. It's a pretty
Yeah.
funny show.
He had a bit part in it though. He was. in
Oh,
it.
that's too bad. I'd like to see a lot more than that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a lot more than that.
Well, see, that's what I don't understand because every time I see Ironside, it's bit parts. Like people realize, like I have to have Ironside in my fucking movie, but then I'm gonna give him like a cameo. Like,
Yeah.
why not let him star?
Right, because we know he can fucking carry his weight, and apparently he's put on a lot of it.
I don't know if he can carry his weight now because he's.
It's just incredible.
worried about him, that's
but
all.
I saw this, and in this movie, again, this is a very, and I'm sorry, I was kind of excited after the first time I watched it because I watched a lot of shit, and then I watched this movie, and I think that's what elevated it in my mind because
Right.
I watched a lot of shit where I was like, there is nothing here to talk about.
Right.
And then I fell on this movie, Ironside, just carrying it, shining.
Well, you
the
got.
aviators.
But if you look at it on the surface, it's like this is a no-brainer. It has to be a great movie. You got Don, the talent of the Swayze family. Don,
Whose character's name in this movie is Dwayne.
Swayze.
Yeah.
You got not one but two Howards, Clint Howard and the patriarch Rance Howard.
My bad. I thought he was he was the older little brother or something. No.
No, he was the father.
He was Daddy Howard.
Yeah. You got Clint, who's also Dwayne and Clint are wasted in this movie, along with Ironside.
Did you like Quint? We'll get into Quint. Apparently, we're talking Jaws now. Did you like Clint's like bit acting in here?
He did what
He was good.
He didn't.
He's the greatest homeless actor I've ever seen.
Right.
I'm sorry.
His great character, the Drifter.
The Drifter.
It just says Clint Howard, the Drifter.
Yeah.
But he killed it, and then they killed him.
But this is very much a broad strokes movie. They don't dive deep into anything.
This is the kind of movie where you're like, why would anyone bankroll this movie? Like, you give this script to me, I'm like, well, there's nothing here.
Right.
What are you wasting my time? Corey Michael Eubanks.
And so I mentioned last week that we had a new star. I forgot to mention that he wrote this movie.
Wrote and
for
produced
himself.
it.
Yeah, of course he did.
Triple threat.
He didn't go full John DeHart.
No.
Like, we see him flirt a little bit with his girlfriend, and that's it.
Oh.
If you really want to be a star,
Well,
Michael Eubanks,
You get a Jean-Claude shot in this.
you get his Jean-Claude shot.
Yeah.
But he missed out what made John DeHart's Get Heaven so famous. Multiple nude scenes of the woman, not the man.
Right.
I'm sorry, like you don't have the glutes. Like you can't go full glutes if you don't have, the toots is the only thing I can rhyme with, and I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
That he's just got it up. Well, you know what? You know what I think I'm going for is Van Damme has the cock smog effect.
Well,
He puts women in the cock
he's
smog.
hypnotic ass. We've all
Exactly.
fall under the.
And when I saw Michael's Eubanks ass, he's got the horrible tan lines going on. It's like, come on, if you're gonna be that tan,
It was a blindingly white ass. It hits you.
it was a Conan O'Brien film
There was a
photo
couple
on the
freckles
beach.
on it,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's freckles, but then it reflected the light so hard into the lens. It was a lens flare. It was bad.
That's what J.J. Abrams got his whole aesthetic from, was this movie.
So it was okay. It gets in and out quickly.
Right.
But it is at broad strokes. There's fun stuff to talk about because, of course, it gets into a underground fight ring kind of ordeal.
Right.
And the fans are very different than what we like.
No, these people would
see.
never be allowed anywhere near my fight ring.
Right.
Ever. This is the podunk, low rent starter kit.
So as you can tell by us going way long on this introduction, there is some stuff to talk about, but I feel like it's going to be a half day of school here. Yeah. There's not a lot to get into in this movie.
Yeah, we did an. Well, hey, we needed this because we gave you an epic and a tippy tap last week,
right?
So we needed a little break. We all need a break.
We all need a break.
It's been a rough week.
It has been a rough fucking week.
We're not even get into it.
So everybody, usually you go to the trailer, but it is Griff Missing July. I'm cutting to the trailer here. Yeah, okay. I'm doing it.
I'll let you do
so everybody, I know you've also had a shit week. There's just like a full moon perpetually hanging up there.
Speaking of full moon, very full moon soundtrack on this.
It's a very full
really
moon
irking
soundtrack.
me.
There is a perpetual full moon just hanging its sack right above our face, laughing at us and all of our misery of existing on this world full of pollutants and terrible Supreme Court justice decisions just being tossed around left and right. So let's dive into the world of meh movies, have a real fucking good time, because you know what? That's what we're here for. Everybody, we're going to be forced to kill soon. No, I was just doing a dramatic pause there, Murray.
All right.
Everybody, let's just have at it and be forced to kill.
Comes an action-adventure film you'll never forget. Johnny never goes looking for trouble. Trouble goes looking for Johnny.
Hey! I'm repoing your car.
Oh my God! You know I hate it when you do that.
Come on, you can't stay mad at me forever. You love me too much, admit it.
To get paid for the repo, all Johnny had to do was deliver the Jag to the bank in one piece. But on his journey, he crossed into a county where the unthinkable took place.
That's the place right over there.
Do something stupid and I'll kill you.
They tortured him like an animal and kidnapped the woman he loved.
You son of a bitch!
All right, Johnny, I'll take good care of her.
Come on, man, right here! Come here! She's gonna be just fine, as long as you win this tournament.
You think you can beat the warden's boy?
Tell me what you think.
They knew with Johnny they had a chance of winning. And he knew he hadn't a prayer of escape. Now, he must do what others considered impossible in order to save both their lives. Corey Michael Eubanks, star of Payback. And Michael Ironside of the mega hits Total Recall and Extreme Prejudice.
I want him!
Are teamed together in one of this year's most critically acclaimed and explosive motion pictures.
Yeah!
Without a doubt, one of the most exciting, action-packed feature films to ever come out of Hollywood. A must-see. Guaranteed to thrill audiences everywhere. Forced to Kill.
Wow, that was a great trailer, Griff. Was there a trailer for this movie?
That's a good question. I might have had to make one.
All right, this movie was from the mind of Corey Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
The great stuntman who said, I have a story I need to tell. I have some glutes I need to show.
He's like a honorary Scott brother, and that he's just not good.
I thought he was going to say honorary your brother.
Yeah.
That he's just not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, but Corey, Michael Thomas, he sucks.
Yeah.
And I don't know why anyone back... Did he have pictures of somebody fucking a child? Strangling a hooker? Why was this movie made? Why does it exist?
It makes me think that early movies in the 90s here, right when it was probably getting cheaper to have cassettes and video cameras and everything or something, It's just got to that point of like YouTube content where it's so easy to just put up YouTube
That's
content.
straight to video market.
Straight to video market, because this movie reeks of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no purpose. There's no point to this movie's existence.
There's no
this, and we've proven out because Corey Michael Hall, his career went nowhere after this.
How many names does Corey could end up with today?
A lot.
Yeah.
As many as he, I think he catered this. He directed. He didn't direct it. He wrote, produced, catered.
Right.
And I think he
was the best boy.
He did the lighting just on his ass.
He also did the grips. Yeah. He was
gripping something.
He just reflected the sunlight into the studio with his ass. That was
and he's
more
billed on IMDb as 5'9". He's 5'6".
He's 5'6"?
If he's anything.
Yeah. He was really short.
Yeah.
You could tell. Because we know Clint Howard is only 5'4".
Right.
And he's only an inch taller than him. So
right. So this movie doesn't even start with him. Remember, this is the 90s. Line dancing was huge. Achy Breaky Heart was going on a couple years previous.
Right. Unfortunately, we haven't been the world hasn't been gifted the great gift of honky donk badonk donk,
or the great gift of Scorpion, and I forget the other girls from Dallas Connection. At least we could watch their flat butts line dance.
Those were sad butts. That was a sad time for rear ends.
Yeah, that was the only good thing about the 2000s is white girls got butts. I don't know what happened, but
it must have been the hormones we pumped into the milk
well,
for that
then
generation.
They're good, all right? I'm for putting estrogen in. I mean, guys got to grow tits now, but girls get asses. I'm all for it.
I think most of the guys in our country grow their tits for other reasons. Eating too many preservatives, Murray.
No.
Chicken nuggies, if you will. We know our president, our former president, ate a lot of them.
You mean our former, yeah. If you believe the lie.
If you believe the lie, it's true.
Yeah.
45 still in charge. 45 still at the drive.
45 still alive.
45 still alive.
I don't know how. He's preserved. Well, enough about Trump. Let's go about this shitty movie. So we start out, we're at a country line dancing bar, urban cowboying it up.
Got a great fucking bartender, full of laughs, full of joy. I was
full of lard.
Full of
he was huge.
Well, yeah, he's been eating the preservatives a little too hard, you know?
He literally was eating Crisco off the bar. There's globs and he's pouring it in his mouth.
He shines up the bar with the Crisco, and then he's got it left over on his hands. You got to get that grease off. How do you get it off? Lick it. Makes sense. He also had fucking Crisco fights that night, too.
There's Crisco wrestling earlier, yeah.
There's a lot of wrestling in liquids or, oily...
Viscous material.
Materials, yes. That's... for turbidity.
That's my favorite children's book series, Viscous Material. His Dark Viscous Material.
Dark Viscous Material, okay.
So, yeah, he's yucking it up with the crowd. Everyone's loving him. But outside, there's some trouble. We see these ne'er-do-well guys. I swear, I never saw the fucking Durant gun from Darkman. By the way, Chris, is that ever going to come out, that episode? Did we watch fucking Darkman for nothing? Release fuck the Snyder cut. Release the fucking Golan-Globus theater cut of our fucking Darkman episode. So that fucking gun, it's in everything now we see. The fucking, they had like a Tommy gun.
The shotgun with the
gigantic
chamber.
Fucking shells.
Yeah, the round chamber, so you can have like
these
84
fucking podunk fuckers have one of those.
Of course they did. They watched Darkman.
Yeah. This movie was inspired by Darkman.
It's true. That's why you see a lot of facial disfiguration.
Those are just ugly people.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, they're getting ready to rob this place, but not with Sheriff Don, not the Dragon Wilson, on the case, played by Michael Ironside. This time I'm thinking, he's gonna be the hero.
This is what I told you. I said there's 3 swerves in this movie. Because you start out and you get that call to Sheriff Don Wilson.
Not the Dragon Wilson.
Not the Dragon Wilson. And you see him just sipping on that coffee.
It's so sad because he looks like shit too. He's got this shitty beard, and
you thought he looked. I thought he was trying to play a podunk, cop. I thought he looked perfect.
I didn't like it. I thought he looked like he wanted to be anywhere but on the set of this movie.
Okay, that might have been true. That's why I was asking if we lost him. I was like, do we have like an super biography of everything? Because I can't wait for that. That's gonna be. I'm gonna buy that book day one. To hear all the Michael Ironside movies, stories about these fucking movies and everything. Can't wait. So yeah, he's getting his omelet on.
Oh right, yeah, because I did like this scene because like you said, he's getting his frittatas.
Yeah,
and where does this place take place? I know that what's his face?
Corey Eubanks,
Corey James, Earl James Eubanks, Jones, Corey Earl Jones. Has to go to Utah to drop off this car.
Utah was where he was going to.
Yes.
A lot of soaking happens in Utah.
And I'm assuming he was in Cali. That's where he was coming from. I don't know. He could have been in Texas. I don't know. I was getting a Texas vibe. I was getting a Hitcher vibe off of this place.
We did have line dancing.
Yeah.
And that is a Texas thing. So he might have been up there in the Panhandle or something.
I don't know, but where am I going with this?
I don't know where you're going. You're very concerned about where they were, the frittatas.
I like that. Thank you for bringing me back, Griff. He's doing my jet. See, we're switching roles for Griffmas in July.
Exactly.
He knows what's going on. I have no idea.
Exactly.
He's like, I got to go. And then she drops the line, I'll keep it warm for you.
I thought you would like that.
Yeah, I did like
there
that.
was. You see why I was
I
like...
can tell that Corey Earl Jones studied his cinema.
His other 1994 straight to VHS, director, writer, producer.
A little Samurai Cop reference there.
It was a good Samurai Cop reference. I did like that he winked at her. I did like that he did the little finger gun, thing. There's all. You see why I was like, I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this movie. Because there is a lot of little bits. But
well, we have to because no one's going to listen to it because no one's ever heard of this movie.
So are you saying we're not just only the greatest investigative action journalist podcasters, we're also historians? Because this movie is going to be buried under the sands of time.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to bring it.
That's part of the Golan-Globus Theater's mission statement is to unearth these gems. Well, this wasn't a gem, but it's still, we're going to make it a gem.
It needs to be known.
Yeah.
It needs to be known. And so he's getting called into action. He bites down on that toothpick. He's got to fucking put a fork in his frittata. I got to take this one. My hands aren't tied behind my back.
Is that how Michael Ironside sounds?
No, not at all. But I got to do a different voice so people know I'm doing Ironside or just a character. So
we cut back. The bartender, he's doing his fucking Second Amendment rights. He's like, I don't have time to wait. He does hit the silent alarm because the robbers come in, start shooting the place up.
Of course.
But he's also like, I have to stand my ground. I'm a bartender. That's practically a cop.
It's a little too real to America to just have a bar shooting, a shooting of any kind in a populated place like this. It's too bad they...
94 it was. Now everyone's like, oh, another one? Yeah.
Exactly. Another one? What was it?
People were just getting shot at rap concerts in the 90s. Now everybody's getting shot.
Was that what was going on?
Yes.
Rat concerts?
Not rat concerts, rap concerts.
Rap concerts. Was it like multiple people or was it just like one or two people?
It would just be like random shooting. It seemed like every rap concert there was a shooting for some fucking reason.
That's weird.
But except like Beastie Boys, of course. That's all corny white people,
right?
But he shoots one of the robbers. He says, bartender. "I'm standing my ground."
Yeah,
boom.
He does it as a joke. Would you say I'm a bartender? Because I would say I'm a ground stander. And he shoots at the one guy. It's a good joke. Everyone did laugh at the bar.
Yeah. They used that actually in the trailer. You heard it.
Yep. Don't make me have to review this and figure out.
They're not going to remember, Griff.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That
intro went so long, nobody's going to remember.
Everyone still thinks Nelson
Mandela They're in the
existed.
G&G fog right now.
That's right.
Yeah. So he shoots one guy, and then his partner's not going to take it. He's like, I got this cool Durant gun. I got to shoot somebody with it. So he shoots old Crisco Jones.
Yep. Good thing there's a good Samaritan there.
Crisco just splatters on some woman's face when he gets shot.
That was weird.
That's
gratuitous. That was weird. He didn't have blood in his body. He just had Crisco, and it just exploded everywhere. Go back into Cronenberg.
Is there a Monty Python movie where a giant fat guy explodes?
Yes,
it was
there
like
is.
that, but Crisco.
Meaning of life.
Yeah, but
I
Crisco.
barely watched that one, but I do know it's from that. But yeah, this movie just proves they're always saying the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
But the only thing that got a good guy with a gun is another bad guy with a gun. We got the fucking reverse of that.
There's so much happening here. But a good Samaritan stops the bad guy with a gun by tackling him. He tackled him. And he starts pummeling him. And it just so happened that your Durant guy shows up and he starts handling business and all that. But it buys enough time where Wilson can arrive, and
this is like a total podunk town that has a helicopter. I mean, I know now every podunk town has a battle tank and a helicopter, but this is 94.
Right, and 5 SWAT teams. Right. They have SWAT games every other week. Right. Volleyball game, beach swimming.
Ninja Warrior course,
ladder climbing.
So, yeah, it gives Wilson enough time to show up with the SWAT team.
Yep. Everybody shows up. They barge into the room. The villains don't want to give up so easily.
Right. And they got, probably a giant stack of ones out of that tiller.
That's all you're going to get out of there. They're selling Budweisers. Dollar-Weisers, more like it. Hey, I actually...
Buckweisers.
Let me go ahead and go into my Brian Last bit here. I own Budweiser stock, so keep buying, boys.
Yeah.
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 That's true. That's a Griff fact. It's Griffmas in July. How about a Griff fact? I own stock in Budweiser.
Yes. Tastes great. Less filling. I think that's Budweiser.
I think that might
be Miller.
Have you ever seen me even drink a Bud anything?
No, you're a Fat Blue Ribbon guy. You're a true hipster.
I'm a true hipster. I fucking... That and hams.
So, he arrives, says, freeze, dirtbag! And this guy's not going out without a fight. So...
He ditches out the back door. He's just like, bye. And, of course, these cops, they see that he's white, so they're just like, he's got a right to stand his own ground, too.
Right.
And so we'll let him run outside. The perps manage to get into their van and drive away. Because, again, you can't shoot them. They're white people. You got to understand why they were doing it.
Right.
You got to give them time to give themselves up and come in. They'll get the license plate. They'll call them later. Be like, hey, you really did do a bad thing. You murdered a couple people. Can you please, maybe come in to the station and
whenever you want.
Whenever it's good for you. Yeah. You want frittatas? I love frittatas. I'll have some.
But as we'll learn, our buddy, not the Dragon Wilson, has ulterior motives. He's like, I got to get this perp.
Yeah, he's chomping at the bit.
Him. I will say one thing I did like about this movie, real car stunts, a lot of cars flipping for no reason.
No reason at all.
There's a lot of ramps apparently interspersed around this little podunk town.
It's one of those podunk towns where people can't afford to repair their cars, so once they die, it's while they're driving. They just park it on the side of the road, and the grass grows over it.
And that's enough of a hill for the bad guy's van to just do a fucking barrel roll, blow up in midair. But our one guy gets out, the guy with the Durant gun. Let's call him Durant. Why not?
Yeah.
Because no one's ever going to hear our fucking Darkman episode. So we'll take the name Durant.
Exactly.
And this is how he survived from Darkman. He changed his face again. He's wearing a Darkman face to look like some dude with fucking a Lemmy mustache.
That's right. Yeah.
So he gets out. I don't remember what happens. Wilson doesn't fight him, does he?
There's 2 people that get out because one guy gets out. He gets shot because he says, I'm standing my ground. And the cops say, you've left us no choice. We're going to shoot you in the face 45 times now. But the other guy gets out, Durant, who had the shotgun. Right. And he comes around back, and he's like, all the cops are so busy, they've already murdered the man, but now they got to go beat him with the nightsticks and everything and say, stop resisting. And they're tasing him. And Durant thinks he's going to get off scot-free, but Wilson walks up. Oh, wait a minute there, boy. I don't want to kill you. I need to take you in. You need to stop standing your own ground. I know you're 2A. I know it's your 2A. I know it's your right. I know where we're at right now in the state we won't name.
But I don't know what the state is.
But yeah, exactly.
We're in a state of confusion.
Yeah. But I need to take you in. You don't want to die. And Durant's thinking about it. He's starting to raise his shotgun, but he hears that helicopter floating. And he hears the fan boats in the distance. And he hears the fucking RVs getting
He hears the train,
up.
too. There's a train.
There is a train coming.
Yeah. And then Ironside goes, don't make me kill you. And that's enough for him to give up.
And we get those.
So we're cut to the credits. I'm like, all right, this is going to be about a badass cop played by Michael Ironside.
Thank you. That's what I thought, too.
Not at all.
Nope.
No, Swerve. This is Swerve number 1.
Swerve number 1, everybody.
We get the credits. We get that nice thing. Clint Howard as the Drifter.
I don't know why they paused on that for 45 minutes like it carried weight.
Because they needed to fucking pad this nothing of a story.
Very broad strokes.
So this is where we meet our hero.
Quotes. How were we supposed?
Corey Jessica Parker.
That's my favorite yet. Think about how good the swerve is. Michael Ironside as the cop, just doing his thing, stopping robbers and all that. Then you flip over to Johnny.
Johnny, played by Corey Jessica Parker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Corey Chimney Sweepstakes.
Corey Bob Eubanks.
There we go. And he's arriving in a limo. Or
In a cab. Not a limo, it's
excuse
a cab.
me, a cab. I don't know where that came
He's
from.
sitting on a phone book so you can see him. But we can tell he's a badass, Griff. He's wearing a leather jacket.
That's true. And he's got that he conditioned up that hair.
Oh, conditioner. Ooh,
Oh,
mwah.
yeah. He wants to make sure he looks full Italian here. So he's got he's trying to look like he's greased up, you know?
Grease is the word.
Yeah, grease is the word, actually. It has been the word. And so he's stopping. He's paying. He fucking rolls out the wad of cash, and he tells his driver, limo, the taxi driver, like, hey, keep it warm. Using that line again.
I don't know why. Because
Talking about the engine.
I know, but I don't know why he's doing that because we learn he's a repo man.
Yeah.
So he'd be taking that car. Why would he need the cab to stick around?
I guess it was just he wanted a plan B.
Okay.
We all need a plan B. Sometimes a plan C.
I wish the makers of this movie had a plan B. We get probably something worth watchable.
That is true.
Yes.
And so so he's going up, and he's getting out his toolkit, and he's getting ready to break into a car.
Right.
We don't know.
He has 3 Slim Jims.
We don't
all
know.
the same size. Yeah. One actually was a Slim Jim.
Well, he needed to snap into something.
He needed something greasy meat.
Yeah, if he doesn't get a snap a neck, he might as well snap, a processed, nice, meaty stick. But he's rolling up. We still don't know. We still just think he's a bad guy. We still just think he's a thief. We don't know that he's a repo man quite yet.
Well, you see a leather jacket, I immediately think he's up to no good.
Exactly.
That's what Roughnecks
Sleeveless gloves.
All the gloves are sleeveless.
Just a fucking sleeve full of Slim Jims. Like, of course, this is the worst guy ever. Probably likes to beat around Miss Elizabeth. And as it turns out, as a guy comes out, Carl, this character got a name on IMDb, but not like half the...
Yeah, not Clint Howard.
Not Clint Howard.
Rance Howard got his own fucking name.
Rance Howard just got Rance. Rance had a ranch, though.
Yeah, he did.
And
Jerry was a race car driver.
I love that song. We were talking about Primus yesterday because we were playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and someone goes,
Well,
John...
we were talking about it last week. Girl stripping to Primus.
That's
Go
right.
check out our Canon episode.
That's right.
With a strip club enthusiast, Joe Corey.
Joe Corey.
I thought I was going to go back.
You were trying to do that.
I was not trying, but I was subliminally going into Corey
Your
Michael
brain
Eubanks.
did it. Your brain did it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Oh yeah, this is John the race car driver," and I said, "No, you got the wrong Primus song. John's a fisherman. Jerry's a race car driver.
Even I know that. Fuck.
Joshua got named
We know
fish.
it's big brown beaver. We don't
Never
know
did win that checkered flag, but he never did come in last. That's mid-dick energy right there.
Kind of like this movie.
Kind of like this movie.
It's kind of like Carl. Because
Kinda
Carl's
like
like,
Carl.
hey, you're not taking my Jag. I think I am.
Yeah.
See, I'm here to repo your car for the bank. You haven't paid them
Yeah.
in 7 months.
You got to understand, I'm a stooge for the man. And here I have some paperwork. Carl takes it, rips the paperwork, shreds. I think we're understanding here today. Right. You're not taking the Jag. And then, of course, Corey does the coolest thing you could possibly do. What's his name in this?
Johnny.
Johnny does the coolest thing you could possibly do. He pulls out a copy of the contract and opens it. Oh, do you want me to pull out the other versions of the contract? Reads the fine print for him. And that's the most insulting thing you can do to Carl. Or anybody, really, is read the fine print.
And remember, Carl's at least a foot taller than Johnny, and he's got a bat on top of it.
Right. You're going to leave here tonight, and we're going to call you can tell the people sorry for you. Johnny, all right, I'll leave tonight. And he starts getting in the car. Car's like, whoa, that's not what I meant. And are we getting into the fighting words yet?
Yeah, he's just like, I'm going to take this bat and shove it. I'm going to hit you like Chris Jericho, end first.
Chris Raphael Jericho.
And he's just like, you know what? You're lucky you have that bat. Because if you didn't, I'd kick the shit out of you. And then Johnny does a little smirk into the camera and sucker punches Carl. And they have a little tete-a-tete. They go back and forth.
It is
fight scenes very dull, not exciting at all. I really got an appreciation for Corey Jean-Claude Van Damme because the whole story is on the set of Bloodsport. It was a mess of a movie, and then Corey Jean-Claude Van Damme was like, "Let me edit the fight scenes," and he turned Bloodsport into a legendary movie. He had that talent.
So what you're saying to me right now is that Tony Khan's wrestling program is everything at 1,000,000 miles an hour. He needs to find his Jean-Claude Van Damme to be like
Jean-Corey Van Damme.
His Jean-Corey Van Damme.
Oh.
To slow it the fuck down.
Yeah, let it breathe. Savor it.
Let the big move be the finish instead of, suddenly a small package wins it.
Right.
Yeah, you're right about that. I never really thought about that when I was watching
Speaking
this
of
movie.
small packages, Corey Claude Van Damme starts getting the edge now. He's finally taking over, and then he embraces his inner Moxley and grabs a garbage can.
He is a garbage man.
And I think they don't even show it. They just cut away. Like, they just imply he's going to hit him. We're back!
Yeah!
Even God doesn't want us to record this fucking movie because we had technical difficulties.
There was a scary moment. I got a little excited about...
I told Griff, if we have to fucking do this over again, we're not doing it. We're going to have a week off.
No. Griffiths in July starts with us treating ourselves to a week off.
This is our Independence Day from this movie.
I got so excited, I ended up throwing my hands up.
I'm surprised you didn't want us to do Independence Day. You're a 90s
Did
kid.
we already do that?
No, we haven't done that.
I don't ever want to do that movie.
I don't either.
Way too long.
Way too long.
I don't give a shit about any of the characters in there. Will Smith, of course, is persona non grata at this point because of that slap. We talked about it last week in Excalibur. Yeah. Go listen to Excalibur.
No, we have a way of... this is a turd, but we're going to polish it up for you.
Oh, this turd's already been polished up a lot.
You're blinded by it, almost like John Michael Vincent's ass.
So we're about to finish polishing up Carl's face with a trash can.
Right.
Deliver that fucking trash can.
We're just showing, this is establishing that Johnny is a badass.
He's a
Even
badass.
though he's only fucking 4'3".
He's 4'3". Carl was 7'2", and he wanted that fight.
Carl was 5'6", but he looked like he's 7'2".
He's got big lips in his shoes.
Yeah.
But it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the dog of the size in the fight.
Yeah.
I think I did that right.
Yeah.
And so Johnny gets his way. He gets his car, his
Johnny
Jag.
always gets his way.
Always gets his way. And he's driving it home. I don't know if you noticed I did this in the notes because we love our days. We love knowing what day is what day is what day is what. There is 4,000 days throughout this, and they make sure to cut from day to night, day to night, day to night, so you recognize it. So at night, robs the car. Now we're into the next day. He had to drive a long way to get back home, but
did he? I don't know.
He did. So I've watched this movie 3 times now, man. So he gets back home, and apparently his griddle is loud as shit because he hears something frying on
his... You hear that Crisco popping.
He hears the Crisco popping, you're right.
Crisco, I think, actually funded this. This is a scam for Crisco to just fucking sell their products.
Got to get that
They thought, like, wow, some hot shot, like, ad agency came in, straight to video. If you want people eating that Crisco,
yeah,
you need to invest in this guy. I got this guy for you. Corey James Earl Jones.
I was wondering why I ended up buying Crisco, and it was the subtlety.
Subliminal.
It was very good. So he's peeking in the window. You see the wavelengths, the smelly wavelengths that always catches the wolves, fucking nostrils.
Crisco doesn't stink.
Crisco doesn't stink, but it's got when you're cooking, delicious eggs and
she's cooking for Titus too. It was the egg people and Crisco funded this movie.
This is when eggs is going through the smear campaign where people saying it's bad cholesterol. Don't ever eat eggs. Don't even put one in your body.
Put some salsa on it. It's great.
Exactly. Just put a little fresh salsa fresco in there, and you got yourself a meal. Fuck yeah, America.
Eggs. It's what's for breakfast.
It is what's for breakfast, and so he's going to go in and check out his breakfast. But the first thing he's got to do is check on those cakes. Make sure they're hot. I'm not talking about pancakes, people. I'm talking about non-existent long 80s ass stuffed into...
This is taking me back to Samurai Cop again because he did not pour some bubbling Crisco on her crotch. No, but I think she was wearing the same outfit in Samurai Cop.
Yeah, same outfit.
That's the way to cook. When you're cooking with grease, Just wear a shirt.
Just wear your boyfriend's shirt.
Boyfriend shirt. They'll
'Cause that's
protect
what-
you.
That's what she's wearing.
Yeah.
And so he takes a look at, her underwear butt and
Her underbutt.
her underbutt. It's not that impressive.
It was
but
90s. It was the 90s.
It was the
butt.
90s. He's living in the 90s, so of course he was really into it.
My favorite Killing Joke song.
Killing Joke fan?
Yeah, there's their sequel, Living in the 90s.
Living in the 90s. Living it in the 90s. That's my favorite Aerosmith album. Is that an Aerosmith song?
No, that is the melody to an Aerosmith song, but that's not Aerosmith.
Okay.
Okay, let's get back to this fucking movie. So Heather's making the frittatas, and he's touching her tatas, and he gets a call from Marty, the guy he works for.
Yeah.
And Marty's like, "Hey, yo, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, yo, hey."
That is a Brooklyn accent. I hear you.
This is very accurate.
Yep.
And he's like, "How's that Jag coming along?" Hey, there's a little bit of a problem here. I need you. You'll get an extra $750 if you can get this to Utah by Friday. And we've established this is day. So that's quick. He's got to get it there quick.
Right. He's like thinking about it, okay, I'm going to have to doing all the calculations, taking a nice shower and everything. And he's getting out. Heather's like, "I heard you have to leave. Do you have to leave right now?" He's naked, by the way.
Yeah.
Just a towel. "Do you have to leave right away?" "Why? What do you have in mind?" She takes the towel off, looks down, just like, "Jan, Corey, Michael, Vincent, Eubanks, you motherfucker." And he's like, "Oh, you want that."
And he's like, "This ain't 2000s porn. I'm not a motherfucker yet. I'm going to motherfuck you."
That's a beautiful line. You think that would lead into some good sweets and level sex
No,
scenes.
he was too nervous. I think this came out the same year that Highlander 3 came out.
Yeah,
so there was a lot of competition in the sex scene game.
Right. But they do leave us with a lingering butt shot. This is the butt shot we've been alluding to.
Yeah, it was very Danzig.
It was very Danzig.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going next day. This is where the movie is just jumping and jumping and jumping forward. It's not fluid. It's not flowing. It's just jumping all over the place. And
because it doesn't know where it's going.
It doesn't know where it's going. Perfectly said. We're going the next day. John happens to be rolling into a new town. I have to assume.
He needs his protein. He needs his frittatas.
Got to get... What is the deal with frittatas? I don't get it.
People just loved them. The 90s was all of... That was the frittata decade. People
Right. John probably goes back... Or, I'm sorry, Jan, Michael, Corey, Eubanks visits. He probably goes back and looks at it and just be like, "Remember my frittata face? Yeah. I put it all in this movie."
Who didn't have a frittata face? Frittata fog is almost as strong as the pussy fog. Which, if
Frida
you want to hear
fog.
about the pussy fog, listen to Excalibur. You'll learn a lot.
This movie is turning into our own advertisement for Excalibur.
This is going to be longer than our Excalibur episode, which was a 2-hour and 20-minute movie, and this garbage was like 83 minutes or something.
So as he rolls into town, he's like, "I got to get that frittata on." And it just so happens that he's rolling into the same diner that one Clint Howard happens to be bumming around
The
at.
Drifter.
The Drifter.
Clint Howard. And he's being very eco-conscious.
He is.
He's collecting pop cans.
Bottles and cans, just clap your hands, just clap your hands.
And he's going the extra mile. He's even crushing them.
Crushing them.
And this is why I don't get... That's why I never understood about the West Coast, because they think they're so, recycling on shit. Why don't you have fucking deposits on your fucking pop cans? You just throw this shit in the trash. I remember going to my sister's in Washington, and I'm like, you just... What? Like, we've been doing this for my whole life. We fucking had 10 cent...
And it is so incredibly successful.
And it helps fucking bums with their fucking rot gut addiction to alcohol.
That's right.
They just go through. They do the job for us.
Right, exactly. Like the success of having 10-cent deposits on our cans has brought them back. The aluminum, which is actually worth fucking recycling, unlike plastic, unfortunately, which is just sadly is just a fucking lie. We just need to stop doing plastic. Anyways, so we got him walking into the diner just as Don, what's his name?
Don, not the Dragon Wilson.
Don, not the Dragon Wilson, is walking out, and he sees Clint Howard the bomb. And this is where I was still thinking that, Michael Ironside is playing a babyface, because he's like, "Hey, come here."
He's wearing an army jacket.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
as most veterans do.
right. As most homeless people do.
That too.
No.
Hey, them stripes real? Oh, yes, sir. And he salutes him because he's a cop, of course.
Right.
He says, Blue Lives Matter. I back the blue. And then he reveals that he's wearing a Punisher skull T-shirt. Clint the bum, that is.
The drifter.
The drifter. He's a drifter, which cops hate homeless people. And yet he's still like...
Well, yeah, but he's not a homeless person. He's a drifter. He comes in and out of town.
Oh, so he's like a Kerouac poem.
Yeah. If you just visit, you don't stay.
You're cool.
Yeah.
A-okay. You don't stay, you're A-okay.
So he pulls a big wad out, rips off a couple singles, stuffs them in his jacket.
I was going to take these to Yo-Ho-Ho's later, but you know what? I'll give them to you.
Don't drink it, though. And he goes, thank you for your service, and gives him a little Kojak slap on the face, and then walks away.
Through his styrofoam cup. Now pick that up.
There's no deposit on that.
We see John sit down for his frittata. He's snapping his finger. Ayo, leather jacket here. Frittata time.
Extra salsa, please.
Extra salsa. You better have the pico paste. And we see a cowboy sitting at the counter.
A kindly old cowboy played by Rance Howard, the patriarch of the Howard family.
He's like a droopy dog. His jowls hang down to the fucking counter. Yeah, he is Ginty-esque. And he's staring at him, and you're thinking it's because Johnny's a loudmouth. He's fucking snapping his finger. He's yelling for the frittatas. They probably don't even know what frittatas are in Utah. If we're in Utah. Yeah. Who knows where we're at this point?
There's a lot of soaking going on. So I think we're in Utah.
There was a lot of soaking.
They were soaking the frittatas in salsa. And so... outside, we see our boy the Drifter getting harassed by some asshole jock bros because they just throw their cans in the trash.
Of course they do.
And they're like, hey, asshole, here's something for you. And they throw a can and hit fucking the Drifter in the head. And he's like, hey, fucking asshole. And mom's like, what'd you say to me?
Do I need to stand my ground? So they go up and they chest bump him. They're like, oh, I got to stand my ground now. You attacked me. And, of course, little Clint Howard, sad little Clint Howard, it's like, I didn't hack you. I just... So these fucking four dudes gang up, and the prime of their teen years, or maybe young 20s, old 40s. I don't know where these guys were. They were all over the place, just like this movie. And so, of course...
Just like this episode.
Yeah. All kinds of things happening here. So, of course, they got to fucking pull their weight, pull up their bootstraps, and beat the shit out of this guy.
Yeah, and just as the pummeling's about to start, John walks out, wiping some salsa off his lips.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, hey, what's going on here? And they're like, yeah, this is none of your business, asshole. Why don't you go back to wherever you came from?
Well, I just happen to come from John Michael Vincent Corey Eubanks School of Ass beatery, and I don't teach you a thing or two about ass beatery. So he's gonna step right into gear and start kicking these four thugs. And just so happens our lonely Rance cowboy, he's gonna come outside too, and he's gonna be like, oh yeah, this kid's got some moves.
He was like licking his lip, biting his lower lip.
What is this frittata thing he had there? I'm sure.
What did they put salsa on there?
Salsa on eggs.
What's going on here?
I thought I seen everything. I got a great old man voice. That's the one thing I do.
Fucking foghorn leghorn, baby. I say.
I say
salsa on them eggs. I just put ketchup on my eggs.
I just put ketchup.
That's some spicy ketchup.
So he watches it, and he's just like enamored by it. He's like, I got to get this kid.
I'm watching it going, oh, if only Van Damme was editing the scene, because this fight was so boring. All the fights are so boring in this fucking...
Right. The only thing that was good about it is that they don't really linger.
The one thing that I found interesting, which I've never seen in a movie fight, they do lockups. They do amateur wrestling lockups.
I thought it was so funny, too. I was like, I wonder if Murray's going to see this. They do a lockup. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I'm waiting for the test of strength, where they put their hands up in the air, and they... But he takes care of four guys, no problem. Does a little roundhouse, do-say-do.
Throws the bum in the back of the Jag. I don't know why Clint Howard had to sit in the back, but he's like, you're not sitting up front with me, that's for sure. So throws him in the back, and they're taking off, and that's where the scene's taking off, too. Just the two of them in his little car. And he's like, "Hey, where am I dropping you off? You're putting a odor in the car, and I don't like it." Are those? Oh, you want the chips? Yeah, you can have the chips. And Clint's going into his just he's pulling out wings here a little bit.
Well, he's handed nothing. He's not even given the character's name.
No.
So he's working like a motherfucker for this little bitty scene.
Right. Just seeing his eyes go bright when he sees those Lay's potato chips there.
They weren't better made?
They weren't better made, of course not. They would have to be Northeast for better mades. Specifically Michigan.
Northern Midwest.
Northern Midwest.
North Midwest South.
North Midwest South. So his eyes just bulge out like, oh my God.
I can have those potato chips?
What's the date on them?
He's concerned about the freshness. Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. He may be a drifter. He may be homeless, but he's still like, I only eat good potato chips.
Don't you give me those stale chips, motherfucker. I just came out of a dumpster. I ate leftover potatoes out of that dumpster, but don't give me some stale chips.
I loved it.
I got to have that crunch, that crisp.
Yeah. Where are you going? I have to. This is what you said. Utah. He says he's going to Canada.
He was saying that to be sarcastic to the. He said it sarcastically.
Okay.
I think it was kind of like he wanted to get rid of him, so he's like, "Canada. This guy's not going to go to Canada."
Gotcha.
And he's like, "I'll go anywhere. I'm a drifter.
I don't care. Just take me somewhere where there's a recycling center." And now we're cutting to them pulling into a gas station. Clint's going in. Apparently, Johnny gave him some more money because he comes out with a bag of licorice. Like he came from a fucking candy shop. You know, it was
Wait,
all
no. Johnny went in because Clint, the drifter, is shining up that windshield. He's earning his keep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, you wanted to point out the shine.
Yeah.
Because
he pulls out a filthy, shit-covered rag that he wipes his ass with, and he's just rubbing the windshield.
His hobo instincts, they're still with him. Yeah. And Johnny comes out, "Oh, you didn't have to do that." "Oh, no, I had to. You had a really big bug, and this is my job after all."
And he's just smearing shit, human feces, waste all over. He's like, "I'd rather have the bug." Yeah. Well, that's going on in the background. We see that fucking kindly old drippy dog cowboy looking
into a phone booth because this is that time.
Right.
Phone booths.
And he makes a call.
And
it says, and we don't hear what he says. So we know he's making a call to somebody.
Right.
So the boys are back out on the road.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, truck just fucking crosses across the street. Guys that are forced to go off road, they roll down a hill.
Yep. Good stunt.
This is where we meet another totally wasted actor, the pride of the Swayze family, Don Swayze, playing the character. Dwayze. And the guy, I was just talking about, Michael Ironside's fucking right-hand man from V, Neil, I don't know the guy's fucking name, but if you watched any fucking action show in the 80s, A-Team, MacGyver, whatever, he had in one episode. This guy was in everything. He always played a sleazy biker.
He was in Justified, too.
Yes, he always played bikers.
Even in this, he's got the same look.
Right.
He's timeless. Old,
scraggly beard.
Fading hair somehow for 30 years. This guy's hairline has been thin but never faded.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's impressive.
So Dwayze and Neil are brothers, the sons of Rance, the not so kindly cowboy.
Yeah. So they get out, and Johnny's crawling out of the car, and he gets away, and, they hold him hostage. Dwayze looks over and sees the car, and he's like, "Oh, you think you're going to get away?" Shoots the car, and of course, it's a 90s action film, so the car's going to go up in flames. But before it even has a chance to, we see Drifter's still in there. Yeah. He gets his way out, but then they're like, "Yeah, Rotten Boy, he's on fire. He's trying to stamp out the fire." And they shoot Drifter in the back.
Right. That's the last you ever see a drifter.
True scum of the earth. So John's captured.
They
his
put
car's
a chain around
up.
his neck with a padlock.
Yep.
And they're like a leash, basically. Mm-hmm. They take him back to their palatial home.
They have like a big ranch setup going on here.
Right.
It's crazy. It's sprawling. It's all over the place.
Dwayze wants to test John out.
Right, because Rance is like, "Oh, boys, I found the best." Apparently, this is the phone call he had. Right. "Boys, I found the strongest, best, whitest male I've ever seen. Perfect conditioned hair. We need to get him. He's going to be our new champion." Dwayze sees him, and he's just like, "I'm a fucking Swayze. I can take this guy." And so Neil's like, let's do it. Let's set this up. And yeah, I don't even think they don't chain him to the cinder block yet, but
No.
I don't think he's completely unshackled. And they let him fight.
And we get a boring fight of John beating Dwayne's ass.
Yeah.
Even when a knife pulled.
Right.
He takes him out, no problem. And then Neil, it's getting really heated. Somebody's going to die, so Neil calms everybody down.
He gets a hold of Johnny,
Right.
holds him back so Dwayne can get some free shots in and everything.
Get a little bit, he lost face, so he's got to get his face back.
Right. They bop him on the head real good and end up cutting him. And they chain him to a cinder block outside and leave him there.
Cinder block.
What do you call that?
I'm just saying, how's a cinder block going to keep anybody? Like, you just
I
pick
know.
it up and walk away.
I didn't know what to call that because they were trying to make it seem like he couldn't get away. They showed constant scenes of him struggling. But it did look like it was just a big cinder block.
He was concussed.
He probably was concussed.
Next morning, we meet Carrie, the niece of Rance, and she's cooking up some frittatas. He's like, you ain't gonna believe, Carrie, you ain't believe what I saw yesterday. They put salsa on their eggs. I want you to cook me up some of that, bitch.
I want that.
Because they treat her like shit. Because she is the niece of Rance.
Yes.
Also known as the cousins of Dwayne and Neil.
Yep.
And she's just like, I guess we'll never learn her backstory, but apparently she's forced to live with them now.
Right. Something happened with his family. We get a scene where...
We just know her daddy was an idiot. So
right, exactly. Because after he asked for the frittatas with the salsa,
right,
go get it, he goes, wait a minute, did you check on that boy's head? Because he had some kind of crazy wound going on there. And she's like, oh, I didn't get a chance. I've been working on that salsa all night and day.
Right, because he wanted fresh salsa.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Fresh-ass tomato salsa. Black Caesar salad, cherry tomatoes. I want those.
Dude, we're like rural area. You think they're sophisticated enough to have a black Caesar?
I don't think they
heard
are.
of a black Caesar?
I don't think they are.
No.
But I think he caught wind of it.
You heard about it.
You heard about
someone mention it.
I want it. So anyway, they're like, go fucking check on that guy. Make sure his head's not.
Right.
And as she leaves, that's where we find out, where Rand starts saying, boys, I know she's fucking stupid, light in the head. She can't make a frittata for fuck's sakes. But she's family. We got to take care of her. It's not her fault that your uncle to the cousins, to Neil and Dwayne, is a dipshit.
So when she gets raped, it's not so gross because it's not brother and sister. It's cousin and cousin.
Exactly.
Yeah, setting up.
It's like kissing cousins, only, sexually assaulting cousins.
Giuliani can do it. He married his cousin.
Exactly.
Right. So Griff puts in touching music. Touching in an emotional way or touching music? Like people are being molested.
It was like a your full moon production. So, and yeah, she's going to attend to his wound. She comes over, reaches around him to touch his head. He turns around ready to bash her face in, pins her to the ground. She's like, this is the position I'm used to. I'm sorry. She's living a horrible life, everybody. But no, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm a good guy. She's like, I'm just here to check on your forehead. Okay.
So she sews them up. Just needs 5 stitches. Rance walks in, wiping off that little salsa off the lip.
Yep. Oh, that was a good, what'd you call that? A fritoto?
Free tutus.
Fritoto?
Free totos.
Went down real good.
And he's like, look, son, this is where we think, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting a plot. Mm-hmm. Because he breaks it down. He's like, son, look here. I just want you to work for me in a bare-knuckle tournament thing we got going on out here. And get this, if you win, you get half the winning, son, and I'll set you free.
Set you free. That's all it's going to take.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Not to John. He says, fuck you.
Right.
I want to leave right now.
So now John has to be convinced, and Rand's like, well, I know just the way to convince this guy.
You got to break this guy,
You got to break, yeah, convince, break, all the same. So he calls up Neil, and Neil's got, he's got like his Jeep that he's going to get out here. Right. And they've got a seat set, just like configured on the hood of the car for Dwayne to ride it. And then, you've seen the horse and carriage where they have like the carrot on the stick. Well, that's kind of the setup here, only it's a taser. And Dwayne is riding the hood of it, tasing John. Actually, I'm thinking too far ahead because they pull him from behind.
He gets. They're like, "We'll give you a ride."
Right, my bad.
And they start dragging John. I think he's got the chain on his neck because he's being dragged.
So he's holding the chain so it doesn't choke him. But,
Right.
yeah, he's holding on for dear life as he's being dragged behind on dirt, all kinds of backwood roads.
Corey Phillip, Michael Thomas is like really showing off his stuntman skills.
Right.
He's doing the Indiana Jones thing, getting dragged.
All over Bull Thistle and everything.
And then he rolls down a hill, and Neil undoes the chain and swings, throws it over a tree branch. He's like, his southern instincts are kicking in. He's like, I got to lynch somebody.
That's right.
And just as he's about to do that, Rance shows up. And
Right.
like, hey, whoa, that boy's worth some money.
Yeah, they let Dwayne start taking... Apparently, Dwayne is a crack shot with his rifle because he shoots, and it looks like it goes right through Johnny's face, but apparently went right above his head.
Right.
So they're just having all kinds of fun, and, John is just like, all right, I guess I have to go along with this because I'm about to die. And John, we're just cut to them at home at night, and Carrie's treating him in the middle of the night, and he's scolding her. He's like, how could you go along with this? What kind of weak, pissant woman are you? Like, are you okay with this? You think this is okay? You think you could do this to people? And she's like, I don't know. I'm so sorry. She just, like, fucking runs off.
Throwing a guilt trip on her.
I know.
Time. She was just raped by a cousin.
And I want to say this is just Johnny freaking out because he's been captured, but he does it again. And then, I'm sorry, everybody, spoiler, Heather gets introduced to the situation, his girlfriend, and Heather even does that to her. She asks her, how could you go along with this? I'm captive too. Idiots. Like, they're the worst people ever.
Next morning.
This is it.
Dwayne is like, time to work out. Time for the training montage.
And they've seen a couple of movies or two.
Right.
They've seen Jean-Claude.
Yeah.
They know the best way to train is nature.
Right.
So they're going to take Johnny out for a run in nature, and they're going to make sure he's very well motivated. So they chase him with the Jeep.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, Sway sits on the hood of it. He's got a special seat and like a 6-foot-long taser.
It's a cattle prod.
A cattle prod, yeah. And just shocks him whenever he slows down.
Yeah. Good motivation.
Yeah, it is really good motivation.
Later that night, Neil's going through his wallet. He literally pulls out $4, which is like a fortune to Neil if you've seen him.
This is frittata money.
And he sees a picture of Heather, and he starts fondling.
It didn't even look like Heather.
He starts waterfalling this picture with his hand.
Oh, all the bad thoughts are going through his head.
While that's going on, speaking of bad thoughts, we hear the one day a week they allow Carrie to bathe.
Yes.
And it's very nice. She's got the candles. She got the.
This is a perfect.
She's got the literal touching music playing, as we'll learn later on.
Well, I was gonna. Oh boy. What I was gonna say is that this is the soft Griff entry. I'm so good at doing these soft entries. Like he's fingering up that photo and everything. It's not so glossy anymore. It's rubbing all off. He's staring into it, and then you start hearing the sweet hummings of an innocent, captive woman who is not here by will.
She was humming Hungry Eyes, though. So.
Hungry Eyes.
And he's hungry, too, and not for frittatas. He's for titties. She goes in there, thankfully, because nobody wants to see Neil naked. Nobody wants to see his tan lines.
No.
So we just cut. We cut away.
She has the set. I'm sorry, she's pulling on the Ricky Morton baby face, just that longing look into the camera like, no, don't do this to me. And that's where we cut away. Theater of the mind. That's the one thing Michael Corey, Jonathan,
you
Davis,
imagine how
Eubanks.
John Borman would have done this scene? Woo!
Oh, my God. His son would have been in there. His daughter would have been in there. And there would have been a ferret in there for some reason. It would have gone Beastmaster mode.
We don't get that, though. We don't have the amazing talents of a John Borman for this movie.
So we just cut to a nice scene with Heather, his
Is
loving
it a
girl.
nice scene?
Yeah, sure.
Marty's calling up. He's
Yeah.
like, where the fuck? This is after Friday.
Right. Where the fuck is your man with my Jag? I need the money. Don't you understand? The mob's after me. We work for the bank, but the mob's after me. We need to get Aren't you worried about Johnny? He's been missing. I want to call it in. I don't care who you call. Give me the fucking Jag. So, of course, Heather, terrified, she's like, I'm hanging up on you. She's wearing, like, the Hillary Clinton pantsuit, too. So she's a businesswoman.
Yeah.
So she's using the company dime to call up the police and say, I got a missing person report to report. Missing person report to report. That sounds right. Yeah.
Back at the ranch, Carrie, that guilt trip finally worked on Carrie. So she sneaks away, gets the key to that fucking padlock on his chain.
Right.
She hands it to him.
Don't forget your promise.
Yeah, because he said he was going to take her with him.
Apparently, yeah.
That night, Johnny unchains himself. He's ready to go. Why we cut back to Carrie. She's packing. Just to show how innocent she is. She's got a little teddy bear.
Yeah. Nightgowns, long pants.
Teddies and a teddy bear.
Teddies, teddy bear, pillow, a blanket. That's what she's packing. That's all of her belongings.
She's just waiting for John. John gets out of the little room they have him in, counts 10 Mississippis.
That's right. We do see him slowly. Mississippi. That was good directing for, that was good.
2 Mississippi. When he gets to 10 Mississippi, well, she's not here. I got to go. Bails on Carrie immediately.
Yep. And we cut to the next morning. So he's had 8 hours of escaping here. Right. And he's made it maybe 10 feet. Yeah. He's not very far. It was
dark, dude.
What's that?
It's real dark out.
That's right. Just so happens that Don, not the Dragon Wilson, was just driving around the back roads.
And we're like, this is where the movie finally starts. Don, not the Dragon Wilson, is going to kick the ass of all these motherfuckers.
Yup. It's going to be them against them. It's going to be great. Back to back. Like our hero and our hero cop. I can't wait. And so Don, of course, is like, get in the car. Let's go. What happened to you, my boy? And Johnny, being a man of justice, he's like, I want you to take me back there so I can point out exactly the people who molested me. And they did molest me.
Pulls out a doll, shows them where he touched them.
That's right. And so they get there.
Doll had tan lines, too. That was weird. How does a doll have tan lines?
I don't know. It's anatomically correct. And so they arrive at the Rance Ranch. And
where ranch dressing was invented.
Exactly. And Don, the not Dragon Wilson, pulls a fucking gun on Johnny.
Swerve number 2, people.
Swerve number 2. Don't do anything stupid.
Like, watch this movie.
Yeah.
Or be star in this movie is what he was thinking.
That's right. So Rance comes out of his house. Don, the not Dragon Wilson. I keep doing that. I should just call him Wilson. Comes out and he's just like, Rance, what's going on? You got a new boy out here? You didn't call and tell me you got a new boy. I gotta tell you, I got a new boy. This boy looks thin as a toothpick. I don't want this guy. He's only 5'2". The fuck is this? 5'2". What you gonna do? Not win in my tournament. So it turns out...
You gotta at least be this tall to fight in my tournament.
That's right. And so it turns out that these guys are partners.
Right. And he's just like, you know what? And then Rance's like, you ever seen this boy eat a frittata? He's pretty rough, son. Well, I think I got my boy, and I think he can take care of this guy, no problem.
Right. Well, why don't you get your boy up here, and we'll let them figure it out.
So he brings up this guy, and this guy looks very familiar because it's fucking Durant from the beginning of the movie.
Right. We do get a moment where John runs away. Wilson captures him again and brings him back.
Yeah, that's called padding.
Exactly. It's padding. So, yeah, we get the other fighter up here.
Yeah, Durant.
That's that is a what's it called joke?
Yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds show.
Yes.
Okay.
It all comes, when we talk about rape, you can't go back. But
it all comes back.
That was Dead Ant, actually.
It was Dead Ant, but it was you were doing that.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
Yes, I was.
So we recognize this guy. He's from the beginning, so there's some continuity going on, actually. And they have a fight because this guy's way bigger than who isn't bigger. Carrie was towering over. What's his fucking name? Corey, not the Dragon Wilson.
Yeah.
And
now he's Corey Wilson.
So we get a boring, shittily shot fight. They're like in a cattle pen. I don't know what's going on.
A lot of the fights happen in a cattle pen.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he wins. John wins. And Wilson, not the dragon, is not happy about that. So he just unloads his fucking gun on Durant.
I liked this, yeah. Just gonna bury him right there, apparently. we get a nice dark night of the soul where Rance has to pummel the shit out of Carrie for attempting to
He
escape.
puts a candlestick to her.
Yep,
know?
you betrayed the family. You pay the price.
Next morning, like you said, very consistent. Day, night, day,
Day,
night,
night, day, night, day, night. 5-minute scenes. Very
John pulls Carrie aside and goes, "You fucked up. You fucked up. I'm stuck here because you ratted me out." And he's just guilt tripping her. It's like she gets the physical abuse from her family and she gets the mental abuse from our heroes.
Yeah. What a hero.
Neil pops in and is like, time to fight.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the fight we were just talking about.
Oh,
we're jumping all over the place here.
Much like this movie.
So, of course, now that he is their champion, John is the champion of Wilson and Ranch. Is what I was about to say. They're like, we got to get an insurance policy. Well, it just so happens that
Because he keeps running all the time.
Right. Neil's been bragging about his new jerk-off material.
Girlfriend.
Yeah,
He's his girlfriend.
Yeah, his girlfriend. And they're like, where's your girlfriend at? Why don't you go pick her up for us? Because they figured it out. They're not idiots.
He says Canada first. That's his first instinct. Because he always has a girlfriend from Canada.
I like what John, Corey Eubanks, eugenics loving motherfucker, Tyler said when he did the Canada joke, and now the Canada joke comes right back. Canada's full circle. So they want their insurance policy. They're going to send their best men, Neil and Dwayne, into town.
Those are the best men.
Yes, to capture Heather, John's girlfriend.
And they do a great job of it. They show up. She's still wearing that shirt and those white cotton panties.
Gross. And based on the day-night transitions, this is at least a week later, and she's still just wearing that outfit.
She's missing her man.
Is it because she thinks that when I wear this, he comes home? So she's just like, I'll just wear this all the time.
Well, yeah, that's why she's cooking frittatas, too, because that smell.
That smell. Yep. That's all.
So they stop. Dwayne does, before he kidnaps her, he does have some of the frittatas. You got to. Someone's going to make you a meal. You got to at least take a bite.
Chad's been talking about these frittata things. I got to try it for myself. So they get back to the ranch. Again, these scenes, they're like 2-minute weird little scenes constantly. It's too jarring. So they get back to the ranch. Dwayne has Heather thrown over his shoulder. And, of course, like I said, she's just wearing the boyfriend shirt, the long shirt, and those underwear. We'll just say underwear. Drawers. And he turns to John, who's chained up outside to that cinder block, and he just fucking takes a chunk out of her cakes. He bites down on them. And, that just really riles up John, because that's all it was about.
And just as John's about to attack those guys, Wilson, not the dragon, comes in and goes, "Look, man, she's going to die unless you fight for us.
Right.
So you have no choice. You have to fight."
And then Wilson, after he's part of that wisdom on
Not the dragon, Wilson.
Not the dragon. I'm sorry.
Don't confuse him.
He goes to talk to Heather. And as soon as he walks into the door, because they keep Heather inside in a room, she immediately is like, "Oh, thank God, the police are here."
She respects the blue line.
She saluted him.
Right.
And then she realized very quickly, because Rance comes in behind her.
Right. Well, they break it down. Not the dragon. Wilson breaks it down for us. Like, look, your boyfriend's going to make us a lot of money.
Yep. Or he's going to get hurt real bad.
And you're going to get hurt really bad.
Yeah.
And then Rance is like, look, honey, he's like, all he's got to do is fight in the tournament, and we'll cut you loose.
You're real nice in the mouth. Nothing bad's going to happen to you. I might keep you around. My niece isn't doing it for me anymore, but you.
Next morning, what was the scene about? What was he trying to tell us?
This is interesting. I know, turkeys.
Just showing like 10 minutes of turkeys just walking around a field.
Is turkey shoot? Was he making a weird, vague reference to turkey shoot?
I didn't see any wolfmen.
I didn't see any wolfmen either. I have no fucking clue. And then we see John. He's running in the distance, too.
Got the cattle prod run going on.
Yep. And he comes back to the ranch where he starts getting abused right in front of Heather, who finally had... No, actually, she was still wearing the shirt, but she has pants now.
Yeah, fine.
She just had the shirt tied up. And she sees all the abuse happening, and that's just ironing it in there. And she hits us with a nice Italian, "Busted!" I thought you would like that, too.
It was nice.
Yeah.
That night. Day, night.
I know.
John, he's like, all right, boy, get some rest because tomorrow you're going to get into that tournament. And he's like, John's like, guarantee you'll let me go after the tournament? But what if I lose? You better pray to God that won't happen, boy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So they usher him into the Cadillac the next day. Day, night, day, night, day, night.
Right.
Oh, the Cadillac. I must be going somewhere nice. You're going to the fucking tournament. You already knew this. They told you. And this is where we get that nice scene where...
They leave the lady folk back home.
Yup. Heather...
You think they could escape because all the guys are leaving.
Right.
But Stockholm Syndrome... Carrie is so brainwashed at this point. She can't move.
Well, she's like trying to take her mind off all of her horrible life, and she's
she's way into the frittatas now. She's like, I can't leave frittatas.
Her whole life has changed. Yeah,
right.
And she's asking Heather, like, "Oh, were you guys like engaged? You were gonna get married? Did you have a dress?" She wants to know all about the world outside. She's the trapped little princess, you know. She wants to hear everything. And Heather's just like, "I did have a dress. How could you do this to people? Are you some kind of scum? Do you get joy out of keeping us captive?" Again, just like Johnny, making it seem like Carrie's the one, behind this capture.
She's carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders.
That's right.
So, here finally. This is where the movie begins. We're finally going to see this tournament we've been hearing so much about. This tournament is the most podunk piece of shit. No way would I let anybody at this place, not even on the premises, let alone in the door of my fight club.
Yeah.
They're like at where you'd have a rodeo, basically.
Yes.
I don't care if they're driving in limos, all right? Now, I don't care if they're jet flying, limo driving, they son of a guns. No. I don't give a fuck.
It's podunk.
You ain't coming to my fucking fight ring.
No. You would never let it be this low. Like, you're not starting this low. You're always, even from day one, you're going to have a nice
Every
arena.
place, every lot is paved. No dirt roads, all right?
Would you do it outside?
You're not tracking any dirt. No, maybe, I can tell you, I believe you got to build. So in the beginning, like I said, I like the Lionheart idea.
Yeah.
Where I just different locations. But eventually, I got to find a home.
I feel like you would find an abandoned factory first.
It would be abandoned, but it would be luxurious underneath. I would have it would be like fucking Breaking Bad, where they had the fucking meth lab underneath the laundromat.
Exactly.
So yes, that'd be my perfect cover. It would be an abandoned Sparks factory, and then underneath, luxurious fight ring.
Despite what you would do with your fight ring, we're seeing that despite this looking like a fucking 2-bit rate outdoor festival or something, people are parking all over the lawn everywhere.
Mud show, literally.
It is a mud show. It really gets into the mud show later. Right. But limos, there's a list. People are paying 5 figures to get in and everything. There are no hoes here. There are no Asian men throwing wads of money around.
There's not one woman who would have the balls to lick blood off her cleavage.
No, nothing classy like that. This is
no class.
This is abysmal. And we see Wilson arriving. Him and Rance are walking in. Wilson's got his best cowboy hat and leather jacket on.
Right, he has leather blazer.
Leather blazer, thank you. He is so pumped.
Little fringe on the fucking sleeves.
A little bit. He's so pumped because they feel like they finally found their guy who's going to push them to the top. They've been fighting in this operation
These guys are
for long.
The bottom of the fight ring world.
They are.
Bottom rung.
And we get to meet their main rival.
This guy who thinks he's on the second rung. He thinks he's hot shit because he's coming in with a fucking limo.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like the warden often wins.
Jim the warden. And he's just like shit runs downhill, so he's just lording it over. Not the Dragon Wilson and Rance. Oh, hey, boys. I just came from a nice Black Caesar salad meal, and I'm ready to see some fights.
Black Caesar salad, I've been hearing
I've heard of those.
I've been hearing about those. My niece, Carrie, just can't figure out the tomato ratio. So, I mean, we get a little bit of talk, like after they have a pissing contest with Jim the Warden. Right. They are, talking like, oh, what's our competition look like? Do we got some real fuckers in this, or is John going to be able to kick his ass through it? And then we go over to see Neil placing John. And again, it is in a rodeo.
Right.
So they have this side pen set up, and that's where John is placed. Right. And Neil tells him, no, get it away from here. Yeah. I don't know. We got to start getting into this tournament. There's no structure to this tournament.
Yeah,
it's very Kickboxer 2.
It's a bunch of vanilla midgets punching each other.
It is.
A lot of lockups. Not a lot of interesting. Few roundhouse kicks.
We get a nice little scene here where there's other people looking at the competition, and just like they're raiding cattle, the guys pop over and they look at John.
It's like, we're not.
Yeah,
it's
not
not
an
an
auction.
auction.
Not an auction.
They had to bring that guy.
But one of the guys pops over and he's trying to get a gauge on all the competition so he knows who to bet on. He sees John. Sheriff brought a little tippy-tap shrimp with him.
Well, like you said, it's not the size of the shrimp. It's the guy who likes shrimping.
Yes, exactly.
And so
Suck that shrimp. God damn.
I'm pretty sure that's the term. I don't know. I'm not into feet.
We'll see.
So, any foot fetishes out there, let us know. So, Warden Jim's got to come by and gloat and rub it in because he's a warden. He's the pick of the litter.
That's right.
He just picks the finest ex-convicts, murderers of.
And he's got a whole reward system. First fight that they win, I let them pick out the pornography first. They get the first pick of the porno mag.
Wow.
Second,
94,
if you get
that was a big deal.
Exactly. And if you get a second win, you get a lubricant. All right? Wow. If you get a third win, you get to order your own porno mag. No one else can touch it. Fourth win, month supply of ramen.
Wow. I almost want to get in a fight ring now. So now here it is, finally. They got the bracket set.
We don't see the bracket.
No,
we just assume it's met.
Yeah, so John heads for his first fight, and he wins pretty easily.
It's a mess. We don't know what's happening because it's not quick cuts, but it's so close, and they do lot of.
We get a montage, but it might as well have been just one fight because all the guys look the same.
Yeah, they do. It again. Was it Kickboxer 2 that we did?
Yes, that was awful. It was Bloodsport 2.
Bloodsport 2. I knew it wasn't Kickboxer. Bloodsport 2. Everything is super close. You can't see anything that's going on. You could barely tell John's in the fights. All the fights are not good. So we'll get through this pretty quickly.
I will say, I mean, John was pretty impressive. This is like old school UFC where there literally is a one-day tournament. You have to fight multiple fights in one day.
It's a hot fucking day, too. Hot day, cold night, because they're like in the middle of nowhere. Utah, nowhereness.
Yeah, literally and metaphorically.
So we get, you do the classic thing when you have any kind of tournament fighting, you have to have crowd reactions. And we see, like we said, nothing good about this audience.
Right.
Old white men. Old white
never
mustaches.
Blood, no.
It's bullshit. You don't want this crowd.
No.
If this is your crowd,
this is riffraff.
Yeah,
that's what you call it.
If this is the crowd you're attracting, kill yourself.
Right.
Just kill yourself. This
right.
is not the business you were hoping to build.
Right.
So
quits.
We're seeing the sunset and everything. Cool night rolls in. Trash fires. That's how cold it got. They have trash fires all over.
Where's the drifter when you need him? I bet he could just kindle up a trash fire like that.
Yeah. And Wilson and Rance got to check on their boy John because, they need to make sure that he's feeling good, that he's ready because, again, they're riding him to the top.
Right. I think, don't they mention that he might have a broken rib or something like that, or is that later?
That might have been later.
Okay.
But it might have been right here, too, because they come in and Wilson gets real close and you're just like, yeah, I hear you're a little injured, but you got to remember, we're going to murder your girlfriend and we're probably going to murder you if you don't come out on top of this thing. So, motivation. And John, of course, gets a lick in. I really like your motivational speeches. It's really good. Really get me going here.
That's a very Ginty delivery of that line.
Thank you.
So, the warden, his guy's doing well, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's just swinging his dick around like, I can't wait to win this tournament again.
Yep. We got storms rolling in because it's all outdoors.
Right.
And the boys actually, like all the slave owners, if you will, they're all inside, and they have one big window that they can watch the fights out through.
Right.
And so you've got the
it's like literally they're trying to make it look like it's closed circuit TV. They're looking out a window, people. Yeah. Okay.
I thought this was a pretty good imagery. The guys fighting with the hobo fires in the background as the rain and the mud. Like, I know it's mud show fighting.
They're trying for something.
Yeah.
They're failing, but they're trying.
Exactly. There was an idea. It just didn't really work. So we're still watching awful fights. It's dark now, and they're covered in water and mud, so it's even harder to tell who's fucking who. And so inside we're seeing that the warden, he's talking with Rance and Wilson, and they're getting high on their supply. Because they're like, I think we're ready to make a bet because our boys are going up in the semis. Right. So why don't
it interesting?
Yeah, why don't we make this interesting? And Warren's just like, oh, I mean, what are you talking? And they're like, well, I mean, what odds are you willing to give us? And Warden pussies them. He's like, I don't know, I'll give you guys like 2-1. And they're like, we're about to offer a lot of money, so I'm thinking, and then, Ironside, just hand acting, perfection. Just has 2 fingers up and then pulls the 3rd finger up and points at it.
Wow, that was
3-1.
You did not see that.
Exactly. And, Ward is like, I don't know. How much money you guys talking? 50,000. That's 3 times more than they ever used to bet.
Warden Jim, he's into it. He's like, agreed.
Yeah.
So now, John, he does have possibly a cracked or broken rib.
Right.
He's being helped into the ring.
You know all about this. You've had a cracked rib. It's not fun.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
I thought I did. I had a collapsed lung.
That's right.
We get the fight that we've been waiting for. Warden's guy versus John. It looked like every fight we've seen in this movie. There's nothing added to it, nothing exciting.
Again, like Bloodsport 2, they built up an enemy that we have no idea about.
But we get another swerve because John loses this fight.
I did promise you swerves.
You did. We've got 3 so far.
Yeah.
Almost as many swerves as acts in a Cannon episode.
That's right.
And John is, but he's playing. I think he threw that fight, right?
He did.
So he's got something going on. He's dragged back to the wet stables. Dwayne's pissed off.
Yep. Neil's got to go get Rance's car ready and everything, and they're cursing out John as he sits there. He's face down in the mud, so they're thinking he's down completely. Right. And Dwayne is left there with him, and he gets in his ear to tell him like how he failed his dad and everything.
You and your frittatas suck.
Yep, exactly.
And that fucking...
You don't talk shit about frittatas.
No. And fucking John just goes apeshit on him, puts him in a chokehold. They're wrestling, they're struggling. Dwayne's gun goes flying in the mud.
Yeah.
They're struggling. Somehow John gets his hand on the fucking gun.
Yeah, well, he chokes him out, gets up, grabs the gun, maybe a key or something, I don't know, and runs off.
Right.
And then we just come back moments later where Wilson's fighting Dwayne's just laying in the mud.
Which Wilson? Not the Dragon Wilson?
Not the Dragon Wilson. Okay.
Right.
I'm sorry. You thought Don Wilson. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. No, not the Dragon Wilson.
Okay. Because I was going to get excited. I think there's going to have some real fighting actually happen if Don, the real Dragon Wilson.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get your hopes up.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
The audience's hopes.
Yeah.
We've seen this movie. We know what happens. Yes. But, of course, Wilson's freaking the fuck out. He's like, this kid's going to go to the feds. He's going to be on to me. He's going to sell me out. He knows I'm a corrupt cop. So, we're going back to Rance's place.
He's like cop in this fucking town and
right,
shit.
Exactly. We're going back home next day, day, night. They
get a lot out of this ranch. They used it very well.
They did.
It was almost as good as Mr. Van and his ranch.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking about, too. And so, Wilson's going to call up any local department he can and tell them, look, there's a boy out. He's a
killer. He's a killer.
Conditioned hair. He hates cops. He says blue lives don't matter. And so every cop now is on alert. Not even a fan of the Punisher.
So, but Rance is like, he's got to come back for his girl. Don't worry about it. He's always chill, man.
Yep.
Not the Dragon's always fucking flipping out.
That's right. And we see John, he's hiding out in the woods.
Totally cleaned off now. He was like covered in mud. Yeah. No continuity at all.
He must have gone to Excalibur world where there's just water everywhere and, washed himself off.
He never found a sword.
He never did find a sword.
Well, then again, this guy ain't worthy of being fucking the king of anything.
Exactly.
King of the hill, for fuck's sake.
That's right. So he's hiding out in the woods as we see like cops on horseback riding through because they're on full alert. APB is out.
Right.
So they're looking through the woods. John happens to find one.
I think even Walker is out on this one.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, they called in the Texas Rangers, even though we're in Utah.
Exactly. So just so happens that John happens on one person who was lagging behind, just, being adult or whatever.
Had to take a piss.
Yep, had to take a piss. And jumps the cop, steals the horse, and is trying to ride off. Gets caught by the other cop, so we have a horseback chase. That's very fun, right?
And, well, that's it. He's showing all his skills. What's his name? Corey, not the dragon, Eubanks.
Yeah.
So he's doing horse riding now.
Yep.
Maybe this was kind of like a sizzle reel for his acting career.
I'm 100% sure that's what it was supposed to be, and it did not work. He took a bet on himself, though, and
Greatest
good for him.
thing that'll ever happen in this movie is being on our show.
That's right. So he ends up running to some cliff sides. He jumps over. Just so happens there's people partying out there. And
Just so happens there's an empty boat just sitting
I was going to
there.
say, they took 2 boats out, and they decided...
You might need an extra.
Yeah. I mean, back in the early 90s, the economy was so booming. People just had 2 boats that they would drive one boat and pull a boat behind them just because they wanted to show off how rich they were.
Right.
So John sees his opportunity and steals the other boat. And they call it in. He's taking off on boat. We need.
And they're like, "What?" They're like, "Get him!" He's like, "He's a white guy. I can't shoot at him.
I can't shoot him. He's standing his ground.
And he's not even on ground. He's on the water.
He's on the water.
He's standing
He's
in
Jesus.
water.
Yeah. So they're like, get the helicopter, get the boats, get everything, get fucking Matt Hunter on the case in his fucking airboat or fan boat or whatever. So now we have a boat chase. This really turns me off. So the helicopter can't even figure out how to get John. The helicopter's
He
flying.
literally just stops on shore and gets out. The helicopter, we've lost him.
Yeah.
He did have a green army jacket. So he blended in.
No,
into the foliage.
okay, Murray, the problem with the logic here is, yes, he had camo on, sleeveless camo. He fucking takes it and throws it to show off his muscles. And then the helicopter's like, we lost them.
He did do that. He had a blatant fucking peck show. He's like, I got to throw the shirt off. I got to Rambo it.
Yeah. And they lost him. This is a sparse...
It's distracting him. They're like a dog or something with a cat with like a fucking laser pointer. You see the jacket, and then they look back. Where is he?
Because the tree, it's not even having tree coverage. It's sparse trees. And they're like, oh, fuck, we lost them. They're in the helicopter for a reason.
Back at the ranch. Because we got to go back. We got to get their money's worth
Back
from
at
that
the ranch. Back at the ranch.
They did a weekend Airbnb at this ranch, and they got to get their money's worth.
That's right.
We get Carrie begging Heather to run. She's like, come on, we got to go. But then Rance shows up. And Neil's there, too.
Yep.
And Neil's like, I've had enough of fucking this picture of you.
Well, Rance telling her, like, I'm going to take care of you, take care of her. You have her your way with her. So he's, like, licking his lips. He's like, fuck, finally. Been waiting for this forever.
Yeah, he's like, now he can have sex with someone who's not in my family.
Right. And Wilson, he's been checking in with local police, so he's got.
By the way, going back to Excalibur, this is the exact opposite. This is no woman has this rape fantasy. This is like real rape.
Yeah.
This is the difference right here. Yuck. This is a crime.
This is a crime. Never mind. Oh, man. There's no reason to get in the weeds of that one. No reason at all. This movie's bad enough. We don't need to talk about it any more than we
Why were we
have.
already dodged the bullet with last week?
All right. Anyways, Wilson, he's getting more information about where John's at, where he's heading to, and they're like, I think he's going back to that ranch. Oh, okay.
Of course he is.
And so we go back
Everybody goes back to the ranch.
Exactly. We're going back to the...
What is this fucking movie? We thought we were getting a fucking blood sport in like a podunk town, and no, we're not.
It's so anything
Fuck
else.
this movie.
All right, so Neil, he's putting the moves on. He's doing his best. He's shaking his fat old man titties. He's, shaking his beard and everything. You smell real pretty. I bet you taste pretty, too. I know you want it because I want it, and that's how it works. That's the theory of relativity, I believe.
Wow, I don't know what's better, the lines or that line reading.
Thank you.
That Swedes in it's like masturbating right now.
That's
Listening
right.
to that.
That's right.
That is no Rhea Perlman, Danny DeVito.
No.
I could see Christopher Lambert saying those lines.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Well, Heather somehow is resisting his charm and is resisting, And he pulls out a gun, and so, that's where things are about to get crazy. He slaps her, throws her over onto the bed, and it's looking pretty ugly. And Dwayne's just sitting there eating an apple. Not even a peach, because peach would make this like a romantic scene.
Right.
But an apple with the hard crunching, and not the moist,
Succulence.
Succulence, thank you. Great word right there. Yeah. So, it's disgusting.
But that just shows how what a pro Dwayne is, because he used to give it nothing in this scene. He's like, apple.
Yeah. They were probably like, eat a peach. And he's like, no. This is a horrible scene. Right. This is Heather's worst day.
Right.
You eat an apple.
Right.
So that gets interrupted by a horn honking outside, and we see John's pulling up in an RV.
We did get a shot of him like hot wiring an RV.
Yes, we did.
Right, but,
in the middle of the woods, he found an RV and hot wired it.
Right. And now we see this RV like slowly going along the road.
Right.
And we're thinking, oh yeah, John's in there. We just saw him hot wire it.
Dwayne's, of course, got to go outside to check on it, and he walks over to the door, waiting there. Shoots it once, and then thinks like, oh, yeah, he's dead in there now. But, he gets surprise attacked. I think John hit him with the door somehow.
No, John wasn't in it. He had put
That's
he
right,
put
he
that
was
cinder
behind
block that he was tied up to on the fucking gas.
That's right.
So, yeah, that was the whole plot, the plan.
Oh, John shows up behind him because he's super close, and he shoots the RV.
Right.
The RV explodes. We get a shot of an explosion, but the RV has disappeared.
Yeah.
It was good.
We got a nice shot of Dwayne flying, too.
Yeah. So
and that kills Dwayne.
Neil hears this, and he's like, well, I guess I can't continue my assault. I'll go outside and check on that.
Somebody's trying to rape somebody here. Can you stop making so much noise?
Silence out there. I'm trying to get focused.
I'm losing my erection here.
Oh, so as Dwayne is dead, Neil is going outside to check on Dwayne. John manages to give him the slip and heads inside to get Heather, gets her, and they're about to escape.
Well, you did notice John did. I don't know where he did. He found another army jacket. He threw it, and that distracted Neil, so he got in the house.
Of course it did. So
don't worry, we're almost done, people.
It's looking like they're going to get out of there and everything, but Rance comes through, gets Heather with a gun.
You're hostage.
It's just like, oh boy. How are we going to get out of this one? Carrie comes out of nowhere with a bat.
Carry on your wayward son.
There will be peace when she is done, that's for sure. And so
she finally nuts up. She's just been fucking ruining everyone's life.
Right.
The guilt trip worked.
Right, it did. It only took 3 guilt trips for it to finally set in. She bashes Rance. He's definitely dead because he is old. His skull...
he's not. He's not dead.
Yeah, surprisingly. So now he's bonked out, but it's looking like all's happily ever after. And then Neil comes back in with a gun, captures Carrie. You guys can't get away. They can't figure this out.
Horrible movie.
And John just so happens to have a gun hidden just above his butt.
Yeah.
And Heather's
that's always where Heather's eyes go.
Right. And Heather is hiding behind him. And so she slyly is getting the gun out as Neil is like, I should shoot you, boy. And John is daring him, just like the first scene with Carl. Oh, you should put that bat down. Actually, it's the opposite of that. No, that didn't make sense. And I fucked up. And so, of course, Heather pulls the gun, shoots Neil 8 times, kills him. Big deal. We're going to go outside and go back on the run in a fucking car. The Cadillac. Don't they all get in the Cadillac?
Well, they hide first under a bridge.
Oh, that's right. John and Heather hide under a bridge. I don't remember what happened to Carrie. But John and Heather...
I don't think even John and Heather do or care.
They hide under a bridge. Rance is chasing after them, has Dwayne's rifle or something. They get to the bridge, and he's trying to look down. He's going to shoot at them, but John shoots up at him?
Yeah, they kill Rance. I just want to point out that John kills multiple police officers throughout this movie. We have no idea if they know anything about what Don, not the Dragon Wilson, is up to. They could be doing their fucking job, trying to get a dangerous criminal.
Right.
He's just killing cops.
Just killing cops. It's fun. He's a big NWA fan. Public Enemy. Just likes killing cops.
Speaking of shooting at cops, Heather gets in on it because they jump in the Cadillac.
Because they've got a whole... Yeah, they get in the Cadillac, and there's a swarm of police that are about to follow them. So she starts firing back to get some distance. So now we get the car chase. Bunch of cops following them, but it just so happens that they're running over parked cars and flipping over and everything.
Right.
And so Don, not the Wilson Dragon, happens...
Not the Wilson Dragon. Yeah.
I'm so ready to be done with this.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Okay. And, they end up shooting at Don, not the Wilson Dragon. They flip him. He flips over in an abandoned RV. And John's like, I got to go check on him.
Yeah, so Ironside's all fucked up and bloody. But
he
still alive.
slowly pops up into... Because he's not seen in the driver's seat. And then he slowly pops up, blood all over his face, crimson mask. Yeah. And he starts bashing out the window. It's crystal clear, but he bashes out the window, and he's getting ready to take aim at them, shoot them. And that's when John is just like, okay, I guess I'll shoot you now.
But he shoots like the car, and the car explodes.
Yeah.
And it blows up Don, not the Dragon Wilson. And then they just get in the Cadillac. I think
they somehow save Carrie. Oh, they went back for Carrie. They did.
That was nice of them.
That was nice. They were like, oh, yeah, we got to go save Carrie.
And they're like, no big deal. I killed a bunch of cops. Let's just drive home.
Oh. Okay, guys, this didn't turn out to be...
Started out very shaky, Griff. Now you understand. But this is the way you do it, Griff. We build. You build.
Yeah. Unlike some people, I know how to book a month. I'm not casting aspersions on you. I'm talking about Tony Khan, who doesn't know how to book at all.
I know how to do long-term
we know you know how to long-term book.
Right.
We probably are going to have to do Excalibur now to do a contrast for our award-winning Excalibur episode. We have to do a modern one with Clive Warren or whatever his name is.
Clive Warren, that's it. Clive, not the Dragon Warren.
That's right, Clive, not the Dragon.
I'm not doing that movie.
Oh, but Murray, you're right.
We got to bounce back, Griff.
It's not about bouncing back. It's about contrast. We gave last week. We gave you the.
It's on purpose.
We gave you the dragon last.
Hey, I've done it myself. It's a hard thing. I've been like, oh, this is gonna be a great one, and then it's just a stinker.
Exactly.
It happens.
Sometimes we got to explore our own joy of finding these weird movies. We did Golden Needles, which was way more fun than this movie.
Right.
But still, it's like we got to go through that ride. We got to go through the valleys and the peaks.
We can't give you Top Gun every week.
Exactly.
And we're not.
And this coming week, we're going to give you another Top Gun. We're going to give you another fucking name. And there's not just one name. We're giving you two names.
Wow, yeah.
Because he may be fresh off an episode of AEW Dark. We got to ask him about that when he shows up. But if you just heard what I said there, you know who's coming. We're getting a returning guest. It's been about a year, and we miss him dearly.
Yeah.
It's going to be great to have him back. We're bringing in Joe Coleman. And
we're bringing our heel back.
We're bringing our heel back.
We got our babyface in Paul London. But
exactly.
Now we're bringing our heel back.
And we're bringing him back for... We always tell you
guys. He's
guys.
back from Parts Unknown?
He's back from Parts Unknown. Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
God, we should have had him do a run-in on Paul, though. That would have been...
That would have been good. Well, we should probably cut that part. We could still make that happen. We just got to get his music. Get him dancing here in the house. So
Hungry Eyes, that's his music.
I'm very excited. We always tell you guys, like... You come across a movie, let us know, and we'll do it with you. And he told us, when we started bringing him around, he said, have you guys done this movie yet? No. Make sure I'm on it. So I called him up, and I said, you know what month it is? It's Griffmas in July.
Joe, not the Dragon Coleman?
Joe, not the Dragon Coleman. He's going to be here in studio doing the movie he begged me to do. And it just so happens to star Griff's favorite action
star. A guy we were
star.
just talking about throughout this movie who does things so much better, has the better butt, the better fight scenes.
Exactly. This is a perfect contrast. You saw what Van Damme was able to do with these shit movies. He saved Bloodsport with his own bloody hands. We see what Corey Eugenics Lovin' Michael Eubanks can do. Nothing. And now we get to see a goddamn all-star and what he can do. And Jean-Claude Van Damme's making his return. Joe Coleman's making his return. And we're taking care of a movie. And it's coinciding perfectly because the 6th title of the genre is coming out. We're doing Street Fighter, everybody. It's going to be fantastic. And you're just going to have to fucking...
The movie that killed Raul Julia.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's right. That was his he wanted to be in it, though.
Yeah.
He was very excited. I think it was because his kids were big fans of the genre or whatever, or the games.
I'm excited because I've never seen this movie. I always confuse Street Fighter with Mortal Kombat, so I'll probably be saying, when Sub-Zero show up?
Yeah. Probably.
But yeah, it's exciting. The All-American hero, Jean-Claude Van Damme in Street Fighter.
None of this makes sense. It's sad because we're gonna have a time constraint on this episode,
Good, we need it.
and we're gonna talk about way too much. So, anyways, Murray, you don't get to sign off. I get to sign off.
Shit. Wow.
Next week, stay tuned. Street Fighter, and until then, just know I'm listening.